Hello and welcome to TechCrunch TV. My name is Alex, and today we're talking about the exit of Steve Ballmer from Microsoft. With me today is Frederic. Frederic, say hi.
Hey there.
And it's a big day, quite the surprise. I don't think anyone was kind of expecting this to land today. I don't think anyone at TechCrunch had any idea this was coming. And according to Ballmer himself, the decision was made about 2 days ago, so the world didn't know. Given the magnitude of this executive exit from Microsoft, it's kind of a seminal moment for the company and the tech industry as a sector. So let's dig into it. Frederic, what was your initial reaction to the change?
I was massively surprised. Ballmer always said he was going to stick around until his son went to college, I think. Was that the story, right?
Something like that, yeah.
That would have been 2017, and there'd really been no indication of him leaving anytime soon. So I was just surprised. I just did not see that coming. Nobody did. I don't know if anybody at Microsoft really did either.
Well, the board did. I mean, the board met 2 days ago and kind of came to the decision. But I mean, it really surprised investors as well because, if you look at the stock chart, yesterday was flat, and then today was just like instantly 7 or 8% higher. So no one really saw this, at least outside of the company. There were probably a few people internally. But what's interesting, though, is it's not an immediate exit. It's not like he's leaving in 4 weeks, 6 months, or 10 months. It's within 12 months. So we don't really know. Do you think that uncertainty is bad?
I definitely think so. I mean, well, the stock market didn't think so. They were just happy, apparently, he was going to leave. But it's going to put Microsoft in a weird spot for the next, 12, I mean, it could be tomorrow, it could be 12 months, right? So there's some uncertainty there that definitely is not going to help them make their point in the next couple of months because nobody knows when he's going to leave, who's going to replace him. Just really weird situation for them right now.
Do you think it would have been better for them to wait until they had the candidate in place that they wanted to kind of snag for the company, as opposed to this year-long period of I don't know?
Yeah, definitely. I think so. I mean, to me, it's weird that you would make the decision 2 days ago and then announce it today. It's just a very strange. I don't know what you make out of that, but to me, it strikes me
as a very Ballmer move. Ballmer is very much this hurly-burly, let's do it my way kind of guy. And maybe he was just like, you know what? I'm done. And bored, I'm done. And then they just, threw it out with the trash on Friday.
Well, what do you think made him come to that decision so quickly, suddenly?
I think it was the culmination of a lot of projects. I mean, I kind of wrote about this today a little bit, but I mean, think about what they've accomplished in the last couple of years. They got Windows 8 out. They got Windows Phone 8 out. They've got Windows 8.1 essentially wrapped up. They've got the new enterprise products doing well. The company is kind of on a new path with a new reorganization and a new business model. So really, all the big changes they had to make as a company, they've at least started. And so Ballmer maybe feels like having kind of pushed this hard to get the company this far, he can now step back and hand it off to someone else. But I think
why not see it through? Why not just stick around?
Oh, with his billions of dollars? Sorry, what a poor soul. I mean, like
he has had billions of dollars since he became CEO. That's like 13 years ago.
So. Right, but I think people do get tired. I mean, people, to put it as an example, like people complain about presidents taking vacations. Like, oh, they're the president. Why are they taking a vacation? Because they're human, and maybe Ballmer is just tired. I don't think we've really seen a lot of people saying that. People have been talking about how, investor pressure or whatever. Bullshit. That's not true at all. I mean, he stuck around through way darker times at Microsoft than this and not been pushed out. So my guess is that he just kind of burned out. And he was in that chair for a long, long time. And the last 5 years have probably been exceptionally hard on him.
They have been hard on him. But at the same time, he kind of got rid of a lot of his lieutenants, right? I mean, everybody's kind of gone in the company that everybody thought was going to be his natural successor.
Well, I mean, you're talking about Ray Ozzie and Steven Sinofsky, right?
And everybody who left before that too. There was quite a few exits, right?
Yeah, but look, in the current reorg, the new cadre of Microsoft leaders has been kind of codified. I mean, we have people like Satya Nadella, we have people like Tammy Rallard, Julie Larson-Green, Terry Myerson. I mean, these are the new big names in Microsoft. I think it's important to kind of keep that in mind because the old leadership that left, that could have been installed in the CEO chair, probably wasn't the right group of people to run the company in its new form, right? I mean, think about Satya. I mean, he runs, Azure, which is one of the most important new pieces of Microsoft's entire business as a company. Can you imagine Ray Ozzie running Azure? I mean, it's not. I mean, it just doesn't make sense. It just does not fundamentally make sense. So maybe it's better that he waited, let the trees be thinned a little bit, installed some new people, rebuilt the company, and then was like, here you go.
Right. I mean, a lot of people, when they looked at the reorg, they thought this is Ballmer putting, his stamp on Microsoft, his legacy on Microsoft. Do you think that he achieved that? The reorg took a lot of energy out of him, and he he was just tired? Do you really think that's
Well, I mean, maybe
why?
maybe not tired is the number one thing, but it could be a component. Also, I think it's brilliant to say he left his stamp, because if he had left 4 years ago, 5 years ago, what would have been his legacy? It would have been Vista,
Yeah.
and Internet Explorer 7, and Office 2007, and these kind of like these products that were just abortive in a way. And now he's leaving on the back of growing cloud products, and a relatively bold move in enterprise productivity, an operating system that was, if nothing else, dramatically different, a functional phone line. I mean, Microsoft is not there yet. They have so much work to do to remain relevant and kind of to rebuild ascendancy in technology, but I think the path is at a minimum kind of better laid forward than it has been in the last 10 years in Redmond. As I wrote this earlier, it's now an interesting company. And that's something we couldn't say for a very, very long time because it wasn't.
It's a fair point. I mean, we've got the Windows 8.1 disaster just waiting to happen, next couple of months.
Talk me through that.
Well, do you think it's going to be any better than Windows 8 was? Do you think it's going to do any better than what we've seen so far?
That's not, you want to ask this instead. Windows 8.1 is a lot better than Windows 8, but is it good enough? Because Windows 8 was not good enough. It was really quirky and hard to use, and really the interface elements were just missing each other. 8.1's a lot better. I mean, you've played with it, I've been playing with it for months. The question is it good enough? And that's, a market question. We can't decide what the market's reaction will be. We can estimate, but I don't see 8.1 fundamentally saving the PC market, if that's what you're asking.
Well, no, but do you think it's going to be part of, it's going to be part of his legacy at the company, right? I mean, it's going to be the thing most people will see. People won't see, whatever is new in SharePoint and making them billions of dollars every year, but they will see Windows 8.1.
I think, we could put it like this. I mean, I think what people will remember is the shared Windows core, kind of extending Windows to smartphones and not your television with Xbox One. I think that's kind of his legacy. I think that people looking at a declining PC market might have retreated from Windows and said, you know what, even though we're Microsoft, this product is simply passé. It's lost its primacy. It's no longer as relevant. Let's build something new. Ballmer led Microsoft in the complete opposite direction. He said, we're going to invest even more in Windows. We're going to bet more on Windows, and we're going to put Windows on more screens. I mean, if that works, which we're not nearly ready to say, but if it does work, wouldn't that be kind of his chief legacy?
Well, yeah, fair point. But when we go back a little bit for a moment, and what do you think are his what is his main legacy? What did he do in the last couple of years that you think is going to stick around besides the Windows core?
Well, reading today's news was really hilarious. People who are not very smart write very bad things, and this happens consistently. People like to point out that Microsoft's former market cap highs were several $100 billion higher, as if that was relevant. Anyways, what will his legacy be? I mean, I don't know, man. I think much like a presidency, long bets that you make often don't pay off for a decade, or don't fail for a decade entirely. So I'd be pretty quick to point out maybe precisely what his full, remembering moments would be. But the bet on the shared Windows core is big. And I think the other component of this is a string of failures. The failure with Windows Mobile, with Ken, with Hotmail, with Live Search before it was Bing. There were a Live Mesh. The whole Microsoft Online division for years was just a clown car. And as we mentioned, Vista and whatnot, other mistakes. XP was terrible when it came out, that sort of thing. But the way that I view this is, given the last 5 years of Microsoft, in which we've seen the company really transform its opinions, its methods, and its products, honestly, I think if that does bear out, he will be remembered as generally positively.
Right. Microsoft is a kind of company that moves kind of slowly. It's not a secret that it takes Microsoft a long time to get anything done, really.
Yeah, we're seeing the same thing with HP right now. We're seeing HP, which has 300,000 employees, or 330,000 employees, trying to rebuild itself. It takes time for companies of this size. But
True.
Today, his legacy was an $18 billion market cap bump for Microsoft. So investors have clearly spoken that their preference is not Ballmer.
Right.
But it'll be interesting to see who comes next. So we need to wrap up, but put you on the
Who will
spot.
come next?
One prediction. You one name, Frederic. One name only. Who's next?
I'm going to go with Elob from Nokia. Just seems like a natural choice. You get the advantage of having an outsider and an insider. There's always this talk. Microsoft will only choose an insider to do it. So,
ladies and gentlemen, that was the stupidest thing I've heard in the last 6 months. That's the absolute worst.
Go for it.
I love you, Frederic, but I'm going to go with no. And publicly, if that does happen, I'll buy you dinner.
All right, sounds like a plan.
All right. we're all set. Thank you, Frederic, and thanks for everyone tuning in.